Hey kids, welcome to Unit 5, Lesson 8, Modifying Images, exercise number 4. This is a choose your own adventure. There's going to be a video for each one of these eventually. I'm going to start off with negative images. Let's jump into this project and see what we have to code. A negative image is created by inverting the colors so the light appears dark and the dark areas appear light. The colors are also reversed, red areas appearing cyan, greens appearing magenta, and blues appearing yellow, and vice versa. A negative image is created by subtracting the current red, green, blue values from 255. It's our big hint right there. First, we're going to get our image plus file. We already have ours up there. And then in negative image, we're going to write make negative to invert the colors in the image. We're going to set the red, green, and blue color values of each pixel object to the result of 255 minus the current value. That means we're just going to go to each pixel, and we're going to create a little formula that takes 255 minus the current value. Then in MyTheater, we're going to instantiate a negative image object with an image in the asset manager. I'll then draw the image in the scene without any filters. You can also upload your own and use it. Add a pause after drawing the image. And finally, we're going to call the make negative method on your image and then draw the image with the filter in the scene, much like we did in the previous lesson. Let's go ahead and start with writing our make negative method. Before we start writing our make negative method, let's take a look at the code. Not much here in our MyTheater. Negative image, we don't have much but a space to write. We have our image plus class. We've been using this for a while. This creates a 2D array over our image at each pixel and creates the RGB value. Let's go ahead and start writing our make negative method. This is going to be a lot like we've been doing. First, we have to create a 2D array to store the X and Y coordinates. So that means we need a pixel 2D array, and we'll call this pixels. This is going to be equal to the get pixels method we've been using. Now we're just going to loop through the array. This is going to be our outer 4. And we are going to go through the rows. We're going to start at 0. As long as rows is less than the pixels length, we're going to keep going through. Well, that's our rows. Now we have to do our columns. This is our inner 4. And this one's going to be our col is going to be equal to 0 as long as the columns is less than the pixels length, but we want to go through the row. So we're going to specify 0, and we're going to go through the entire length. As long as we're under it, we're going to keep going through the column. Now we have to store each individual pixel. So from the pixel class, the current pixel is going to be equal to the pixels from above at whatever row and column. So row and column. Now all we have to do is set the RGB to whatever the current color is minus 255. That means we are going to go from the current pixel, we are going to set red, and in there we're going to set it as 255 minus the current pixel, and we're going to get the red color currently at. That means whatever pixel we're at, the red color, we're going to get that value, 255 minus that value, which will invert, And then we're just going to set the red of the current pixel. And that's it. Rinse and repeat now. So current pixel set green is going to be 255 minus the current pixel and the get green method. One more. Current pixel, and we're going to go set blue, and that's going to be 255 minus the current pixel and the get blue method. Let's check our spelling here. Well, looks pretty good so far. Pixels looks like it's spelled right. Let's just clean up our code. This is our end of class. Our method now loops through our pixels at the current pixel. It gets the value. And to invert it, we're taking 255 and subtracting that current value. And that's just reversing it. And that's doing it for each red, green, blue value at the current pixel. Well, that's it. Now we just got to go over to My Theater, create an image, and run our filter. Let's go back to My Theater. First thing we need to do is find an image. I've been using the games a lot. We'll stick with it. Games JPEG. That means we have to instantiate an object now to hold that image. So negative image, and we'll call it my image is equal to a new negative image, and we're going to do the games JPEG. I know I have negative image spelled wrong there. Let's copy this. I'm going to spell this word wrong a million times. There, that looks a little better. Now we have to draw our image. So my scene is going to call the draw image method, and we are going to get the my image from above. It's going to be 0 width, 0 height, and then we're going to use the my scene method to get the width of the total object. We're going to stop here, hit run, make sure we get an image to pop up before we mess with the filter. Let's go ahead and hit run and see if our image pops up. Looks like we have a spelling error. Scene is clearly spelled wrong. Let's clear, stop and run. We have our image. Now let's pause for a second. And then I'm going to copy this because we're going to need that in a second. We're going to go down here. And now we're going to call that make negative we just created. So for my image, we're going to go make negative. And then we're going to run that filter one more time. When I hit stop and run, I should get my image. After a second, all the colors should invert. Well, let's see if we're right. Woo! Blinded my eyes. Looks like our code's running pretty good. Key takeaway from this lesson is further reinforcing how we use a 2D array to access individual pixels within an image. How we access them creates different filters. These are filters you see all over social media. We've created a grayscale, 0 blue, 0 green, 0 red, in just one color. All of these, though, are teaching you different ways you can use a 2D array to manipulate an image. Hopefully this lesson helped you understand how to modify images a little better. As always, kids, if you have any questions, come see me. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next lesson. See you later, kids. Bye. Bye. Bye.